Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Thought Leaders. I'm your host, Chris Shank. Today we have Rohit, who is the founder and CEO of Mavenwit. Thank you so much for joining us, Rohit.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, tell us a little bit about Mavenwit and what kind of companies are you guys working with?
Awesome. So we guys are the marketing agency based out in India, US, and Dubai. And we guys started out like 2.5 to 3 years back. We've been working with great D2C brands, you know, amazing SaaS companies as well, including Klaviyo, Shopify, Omnisan, Moosin, and so on. And we've been doing great stuff with these companies. Like we recently shifted to the subscription model where we guys are like, having like close to like 4 to 6 products right now, including Maven Growth Machine. We have Maven Small Business Success Program. Then we have is Maven Design Studio and couple many other products. And we used to serve in the entire Asia Pacific market. And yeah, it's been doing great. Like it's been going great since we guys started. Yeah.
Got it. And would love to kind of dive into your work history, how you ended up getting involved into growth marketing in the first place. But walk us through what that looked like. How'd you stumble into it? What were the initial learnings and takeaways that got you excited about it?
Awesome. So I think before starting the Mavenwit, I was 100% kind of like doing drop shipping. I was doing affiliate marketing. I was like a complete internet marketer, you can say, where I was promoting products. I was doing blogging. I was having a nice drop shipping store as well, been running on the Shopify too, you know, and I did amazing revenue in the affiliate programs for the companies for sure, including in ClickBank, including in CJ, Impact, and so on. Then later on, I decided and I went to couple of the hotels nearby me where I found like I should be helping them, like 4-star, 5-star hotels nearby me, meeting them in the managers and so on, and telling them like, hey, what if I'm getting the appointments and what if I will be managing your entire social media and working for your brand, having social media stuff done for you by me. So they were not accepting me, So I thought like, no, no, this is not gonna be like an easy thing. So I would be just getting down. I started my agency when I was in my second year of college or second year of university, you can say, So that's how I did. So I was just like been studying as well. I started my agency. And at the time of when my graduation got completed, we've been already doing revenue and sort of stuff. So I thought I should be putting my full time over here and scaling my agency. So that's where we got started from India, going to US and Dubai now. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. And you also have your own podcast, right?
Yeah. We have our own podcast. You know, so we have the Maven Show. It's the amazing name, amazing theme, amazing brand which we built so far. And it's just something like I have the habit to meet couple bunch of new people every single day, So I thought like why not having this can be a strategy as well. We will be putting some sort of words, some sort of experiences what we have and having onboarding couple bunch of guests into a podcast and putting into the stream where people can listen to our experiences and get value from. Yeah. So we launched our podcast. We are doing pretty nice on that podcast for sure. We have like couple K listeners every single month and couple K downloads every single month for sure. And we've been streaming in all the platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcast, iTunes, Stitcher, everywhere. Because like we guys have recently done like season one. I started last year and I just completed my season one last year. So now I'm right now in a break, you can say. So I will be starting the season two amazingly, I think, a little much better way, not in a way where we will be keeping a complete digital setup, but we will be having a handy, amazing setup, all the equipments and done up. So it was like a season one, getting things started, but not still scaling up and leveling up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to me, like, I mean, I'm curious as to like why you started one and what the benefit is for you. I think there's a few different reasons why people do them. And there's a saying also that like 90% never get past like the third episode. So what's kind of kept you consistent? Where's the value for you?
I think I was never being able to do the podcast for sure. I haven't started the podcast. Even the company own right now, I haven't few of my members into the company. They started the podcast. Even if you can see, like they have did the podcast number episode number 1 2 3 or 4 done by them. Later on, one of my friend or one of my colleagues said, like, Natasha, Rohit, why you don't come to the podcast as well? You are a little extrovert. You say a little nice, energetic, power up. I told my, yeah, I will come up, I will come up. At that point of time, I was like busy building all my stuff, And you know that, like how being into extrovert, then looking into other things, getting serious and so on. So, but later on, I think like, yeah, Rohit. And then, if you were talking about the story part, then I would say like, um, I got interviewed in couple of the shows for sure. I got couple interviewed in couple of PR work, press releases. That way I thought like, I gotta spark a little, let me give this a shot. So one, two, three, four, and it just kept on going. We kept on inviting bunch of guests. They kept on coming, and we did the entire season 100, like entire season one with 100 episodes. Yeah,
Yeah, got it.
pretty nice. We have onboarded like all the millionaires, close to 4 billionaires, all were running amazing businesses, doing hundreds of millions every single year. And onboarded them as a guest, and it's been a great season one which we have done. Now the milestone for the season two will be much bigger for sure. Yeah.
And what is your goals for, what is the goal for you from these personally?
From these personal brands, you can say, is that?
Yeah, or like, what are you, why, our time is a commodity, right? And what's the value for
Uh,
you spending the time on it?
I got it. So I would say, see, when I was starting out my agency, I haven't have any direction for sure. It was like a complete blunder to me, like where I will go, where I will go, how can I gonna get clients, how I gonna scale the agency. It kept on going as the time was passing. I kept on improving myself. I kept on improving my businesses, what I own. I kept on improving my systems I have, and that's how it go. We have never thought of like, Mavenwit will be a subscription agency. We will be having 6 products. We will be having our amazing podcast. We will be having more than 50, 100K followers in the entire social in just a matter of 2 to 3 years now. But it just kept on going. People loved it for sure. People loved the criteria. People loved the name. People loved the Mavenwit, the Maven Show, Mavenwit Growth Machine. I am Mavenwit Careers. So these names are something which actually comes up like sound, like, yeah, man, this is something. Yeah, this is something you can go for. That's all I think. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. And let's talk a little bit about, where you see with your agency, how long have you had it now? 6 years, seven,
No, 3 years.
3 years?
Mm.
Um, so you came in, I think like, well, yeah,
2021.
yeah, tell me like how it's been from when you first started the agency to where it is now. Has it been more challenging? What were the
Hmm.
expectations? I think the landscape has shifted a lot from an economic standpoint, but curious as to
Yeah.
what you've seen.
I think when we got started out, it was nothing like what we have right now for sure. You know, we have a very simple website. We guys have started with a small office for sure. At this point of time, we guys are 100% remote and hybrid for sure. But things changed a lot. We At that point of time, we have had just one website with a little content. And this point of time, we have like 4 websites, partners.mavenwit.com, where we have more than 450 plus partnerships right now with companies. Mavenwit.com, where we have a bunch of content with all the products and so on. Then another is blog.mavenwit.com, where we have written more than 100,000 or maybe 500,000 words so far. Then we have is the Maven Show. We have the Mavenshow.com is the another into the brand into the Maven. But I think when I was getting started, it was nothing like that. And nothing was planned that I will be launching these, that I will be having these. As I said, like it's kept on coming. I kept on doing, I kept on improving. So I was just kept on improving myself. People liking the stuff, people started loving the stuff. So we just kept on building the things for sure. You know. And if you're talking about for the long-term standpoint, I think I would say this is something which in like I have to do something. Not just for myself. Doing something for yourself is very easy for sure. But doing something for the family, maybe doing something for the people you love, or maybe people love you. So that's something I believe which can serve other people, give value to other people. It would be a much better fit. No, serving themselves is pretty easy.
Yep, got it. I mean, in terms of what you do with Mavenwit, the core offering, you offer marketing services, correct? To
Exactly. Yeah.
e-commerce brands? So
Yeah. So we
what is that, yeah, what does it actually look like? Like what are different like service offerings?
So we do custom plans as well. Let's suppose client comes to us, they said like, I want a complete production from you guys, pre-production, post-production, and the compare production services from you. We guys do that too. Another thing, we have our own subscriptions where we have few plans starting from $100 and goes up to $5,000 a month. We sell those subscriptions. In those subscriptions, the complete bundle will come up. There is a bundle of services. Let's suppose a client comes in, hey, I'm the startup, I'm making somewhere close to 25K every single month. We guys are just getting started. It's been just 6 months or a year, and we want an agency who can just scale our business as soon as possible and take it up. So we will be selling them a startup plan of a growth machine, which includes everything what a startup needs. A
What
great
is that? What
website.
does that actually entail?
So it entails like everything what a startup needs. You can see a site, an amazing customized 100% website, complete lead gen, hosting, domain, business emails, social media management, social media promotions, ad management, ad campaigns, promotions, and so on. So it includes everything. So we will be doing all these services under that particular one subscription charge. That's it. Whereas other agencies used to charge different specific amount for each specific service. Whereas if you go to other agency, they will be charging, hey, I will be taking $1,000 just for the making of website. I will be taking $500 just for managing your social media. So we make a subscription. We made the subscription. We made it live. Client can come up in the site. They can pick a plan, pay for the plan. Once the plan payment is done, they will be onboarded into the questionnaire form. Once the form is filled, they will be get inside to a system, client
Yep.
management system, which we have. They're good to
Yep.
go. That's all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I mean, let's talk about a little bit more like how how are you driving growth? Because that's the main thing that you guys are doing, right? So like you're driving growth for businesses.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
how are you doing that, right? Like it's not just one channel, it's a bunch of different types of things. And I'm curious more so about what's working for you guys now to help businesses universally, or if there's certain channels that are working better than others. But what does that actually mean? Like the execution part of it.
amazing. See, so I think we have a great talent for sure. A young talent, a young creative people which we have, expert people which we have, you know, and we like a small nice team of 50 to 80 people which we have right now, including all the designers, creative people, digital people. That's how which we help to get the clients to the next level, drive growth. The major focus of our agency is to have driving growth, looking into the client problem, after having the client problem, fixing into the client problem and giving them a solution based upon the client needs. Let's say clients comes in, client used to say like, hey Rohit, I have this site, I want the site to take it to 10K traffic, to take it to the 100K, you know and I want it in next 6 months to a 9 months period. We know how to do that. I think that's where the experience comes in for sure. I've been already doing this thing single me from last 6 to 8 years down now. I've been already running business. I've been already working with businesses before my agency as well. So I've been in business from since the age of 12 or 13 years. But I've been doing digital marketing things since the age of 7. Yeah.
Yeah, and you mentioned, I mean, I know you mentioned that you used to do like affiliate marketing and things like that. And
Yeah.
so, I mean, but what are some of the tactical things like, somebody, for example, that's trying to improve traffic to their site, right? Like basic things that they
Hmm.
should be doing. Like what are some of those things you recommend for like an earlier entrepreneur that maybe can't come in and afford your services, but like from a best practice standpoint should be doing for them to start generating awareness around their product or service?
I think there is a couple of things which comes in, and that couple of things can be, if the client is having a lot of money, client will be saying like, hey, I have a great brand, I have a great everything, I got a lot of money, I want you to just drive me traffic. There are a couple of things they can actually opt into, having quick traffic and spending a lot of money by just putting into ads. But ads are something which can drive traffic. But till the time you are spending money, you can only have a traffic. You know what I mean? But if you're talking about the organic way, building, maybe having our own podcast, like right now you are building, maybe having our own podcast, like right now, which we have. having a own blog, having a blog, having blogs done by having content creators on a list, content creators making content for our own company, content creators making content for our business. So that is something which is a long and sustainable way. I would be recommend. I think I should recommend each and every single business owner should focus on, rather than spending a lot of money on ads. Spending $1,000 or maybe $10,000 on ads and acquiring maybe $20,000, because that's not long term. That can be a long term, but at certain level, but not at the
Got
level
it.
of which we are having in the organic. You know, organic drive much more.
Yep. And when you're talking about like the organic traffic, what are some best practices around that to create, articles or blogs or things like that for them to
Mm,
actually be ranked, right? Because I think like that's another thing is a lot of companies just think that they need to write
mm,
blogs against keywords, and that's not necessarily, I mean, that used to work, but that doesn't necessarily just work now. And you could be spending a lot of
mm-hmm.
energy on these things, and then nobody will ever see them, or it's going to be very difficult to find those articles. Is there anything that you suggest around, again, maybe based on your expertise, just like a secret sauce or
I got
some,
it.
yeah.
I think blogging is pretty competitive and saturated as well. From now, like at this point of time, early on it was pretty easy. Starting a blog, driving 100K traffic is pretty easy. At that point of time, there were not much domains. At this point of time, there are so many domains. Every time there is a new domain getting registered every single few minutes. I would say like if anyone is trying to building backlinks with subsites, you can say maybe Substack, Medium, Reddit, anything like that. Don't do that. It's not a but that's not gonna be a source for you. If you actually want traffic, do some sort of PR per shot, write amazing content with amazing keywords, you know,
How do
try
they
ranking that.
discover how do they discover, like, what is amazing content and how do they discover
Um,
keywords, right?
Amazing content. What I mean by that is like, I think I can say the SEO optimized content. There is a difference between writing lines. Lines can be two-way. Lines can be in a way where you are not putting any sort of word which the title is related to that article. There are some lines which are related to the article of what you wanna like deliver to the audience. Those words actually matter. You know, rather than putting the lot of keywords into the article SEO section while ranking the article, you can focus on writing the SEO optimized content for sure. While adding the pictures or while adding the like the videos and any sort of gallery as well into the blog, you must be making sure that you should be adding a tag into that videos and pictures. Tag matters a lot into the Google search section as well. Google search section, you can say Google video section, images section. That drives traffic too.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then how do you think about search and traffic now with, as it relates to AI tools, right? Because I think we're seeing a lot of like AI tools now becoming the new search.
I
And
think
so is it worthwhile to spend a ton of time on SEO versus creating like a GPT tool? And how does somebody, how does somebody like you think about that now?
See, I think if you actually want to rank the article, if you actually want the growth on your own blog, on your own blog site and so on, don't use the chat GPT or AI tool. That particular software will only give you the dummy content pusher. That's not going to give you the creative content. Creative content is obviously going to be done by the creative writers. You can say the content writers or storytellers, not by the AI or chat GPT 100%, because chat GPT and AI is a repeatable software. It's going to drive give you the same sort of words and lines which are like obviously put inside of that GPT. That's all.
Yeah, I think like I meant more of not using it for creating content, but
Yeah.
uh it replacing Google search, meaning that like about 30% of people are currently using some form of AI as a replacement to search, right? And so is it worthwhile to spend time on an SEO
Uh,
strategy if the direction is leading towards AI powered search? Does that make sense?
I think yeah, I think it will actually change the things how we do right now. If like People are actually searching because as the internet is growing, as the web era is growing, people are actually shifting to the chat GPT and Web3, like web space, like into the chat GPT and AI space for sure. You know, so people are actually shifting, and I think we, being an agency at this point of time, we also do that too. We also use these softwares for our own content writing and things like that. We do not write the content, but we do take some sort of ideas how to do it, or like how we used to do into the Google search as well. We use some sort of chat GPT, or maybe the product of Microsoft as well, which is like the chat GPT of Microsoft. So we've been doing using that too. I think
Yeah, I
there is
mean,
a shift. There is a shift.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like, what if, for example, in 3 years now, and this is a crazy hypothetical, but like, what if everybody's searching through, Meta and IG, AI, there's nobody using Google anymore for search, right?
No, I don't
Like,
think so. I don't think so. This will happen. There will be people who will be using Google for sure. There will be people who will be using Bing for sure. You know, but yeah, I think as the time change, people change, technology change. This is just a new update for sure. It will be a part of our life for sure, but at some point of time, Google will not be replaced 100%. Google is going to have its own systems, which gonna be much faster, maybe, which gonna be competitive as with the chat as with the chat GPT vision. It's not going to be replaceable as I
okay. Yeah, I mean, I just asking because I'm curious as like, especially around growth, and sustainability of growth, like you have to be able to go where the attention's going, right? And get ahead of
think.
it. And so if, to me, like this is something I'm thinking about too from uh or from a company perspective, but if the future is in AI search, like people are going to be using AI to generate answers and query it for how to drive solutions. We're trying to
We
figure
can say that.
out
Yeah, I think I we can say that. Yeah, people can shift into the AI search
and
if
so
you are talking.
how do you,
Yeah,
if that's where people's attention are going, how do you how do you advise your clients, or how do you even think about from yourself as an agency? How do you, with that being a trend, and you're you saying that that is probably going to happen and there's going to be a shift,
yeah.
how do you capture that attention if that's the case?
See, I think at this point of time, we guys have our own content writing AI tool, which is about to come in the next few days. We have our own tech team who is already working on that thing too. So we are already in charge of that thing for sure too. Like we are also trying to launch our own content writing, like which where you will be putting a simple line and it will be going to give you a 500 to 1,000 words, maybe a complete blog article to get it published. So this is what we guys are building for sure. And
Where
it's
does
will
that
going
but where does that content go, and how does that content get discovered?
uh where does the content go? What was that?
Yeah, where does the content go, and how does it get discovered?
I think it's just the command. It's the command. It's the command, human nature command, which AI has also got at this point of time. A little, like humans think. There is something like, I'm not a tech guy to be honest, so I will not advise much, but I would still say like there is a command which is done by obviously humans like us, and a human nature, and obviously a thing which is obviously inserted into the AI systems as well, to react like that, to act like that, to put a word like that, to make an effort like that. Yeah, that is something which is done by us too. That's the only thing which is done, which is manageable by AI.
Got it. Very cool. Well, I know we're up on time, so I want to just say thank you so much for taking the time out here and sharing some of your insights with us.
Awesome. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me on. And I'd love to come up. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.